Don't be that kid. You know who I'm talking about. The one who asks questions because he likes to hear his own voice and has nothing to do with the focused material. The guy who asks the question not due to genuine confusion, but just to show the class that he read ahead. There's a time and place for everything, and I encourage enthusiasm for the material, but don't fucking interrupt the professor 5 times during the class with questions about shit you saw on a YouTube video. Sorry, I'm a little jaded today. Response 2.
Always that one guy who tries to start a debate on communism in biology class or some shit.
And now if you'll look to the PowerPoint, you'll see that the axon as the Holodomor was capitalist propaganda.
Response 3.
Lol, they're at least one of those people you have to deal with every semester. IDK, how people can have so little self-awareness and not realize they aren't impressing anyone, just annoying them.
Honestly, self-awareness is a skill a ton of people lack, generally speaking.
How would one learn to be self-aware? Nice try Skynet.
Response 4.
Have 2 classes with a person doing that shit in each. My one professor openly rolled her eyes at them and cut them off.
I appreciate the crap out of profs who will shut these kids up. There was one girl that I had in a few classes, intro classes that had to be taken in sequence, so a lot of people ended up in a few classes over a few sems. There was one professor who shut her up, but it was the second time he had her in a class. It took too long.
Response 5.
Also, usually the same person. Don't be the person to sit in office hours with the professor when you don't have any specific questions. I am so fucking serious. There was a line of 20 people outside this professor's door one time, and this one kid everyone knew about was in there trying to get brownie points with the professor. I ended up never being able to use office hours for that class. The professor probably hates that kid too. Oh, I guarantee it.
Response 6.
I do like the kid who answers the questions though. Especially in a class that has a lot of participation, I'll just sit there and zone out. Lol.
I'm that kid because no one answers, and I don't like sitting in awkward silence forever while the professor asks us how to conjugate wisen.
Thank you for your service.
Response 7.
Professor, I know this is an art course, but I'd like to take this time to ask you about your views on socialism. There's almost always at least one kid per semester that tries to gravitate the lecture to politics. No clue why.
Deleted.
Politics have been especially touchy on college campuses since the start of the 2016 election. Which side of the aisle is more prevalent among the students and faculty depends entirely on the school and location.
There's a poster in my school's dining hall that says, "Capitalism is a pyramid scheme." It's on the side that only the food service staff can enter, so I can't read it any closer, but WTF.
Response 8.
There's this one dude in my English class, and whenever we're having class discussions, he'll just absolutely hijack any and all discussion and nobody else will have any opportunity to say anything at all. Quite annoying. I dealt with that kid in high school and college. Seriously, small town with liberal arts colleges, at least half the students went to one or the other. This guy thought he was such hot shit in high school and wouldn't let anyone else speak, or would speak over them when he disagreed. Fast forward to senior year of undergrad, we happen to be in the same non-major course together. He starts debating over a question that the answer was right in front of us in our textbook. The professor let it happen and then responded with, "Would anyone else like a chance to speak on this topic since we got a lengthy, and incorrect, response from a peer? Don't be that person, please."
Response 9.
My worst is the kid who asks a question along the lines of what the professor just explained. So 2 + 3 = 5, and this is why, 30 seconds later. Wait, why does 2 + 3 = 5?
Response 10.
There were 1 or 2 of those kids in my machine architecture class, lol. They'd asked so many questions that literally only the professor understood and went so far beyond what we were learning in class. Please save those questions for office hours.
Response 11.
Deleted. This is literally the kid in my class.